Remove every stumbling block. Written and read by Brother Jerry Valenti. On Monday morning of his last week on earth, Jesus again makes the short trip from Bethany into Jerusalem, along with his disciples, this time without the fanfare of the previous day. Jesus is hungry and sees in the distance a fig tree covered with leaves, so the group walks up to the tree to pick some figs. To their disappointment, there are no figs growing on the tree, only the leaves that they saw from down the road. Jesus then speaks to the tree, saying, "No fruit will ever grow on you again." The disciples are a little taken aback by this, but the group moves on and continues with their work for the day. The next day, the group takes the same road from Bethany into Jerusalem, and they pass the same tree. However, it doesn't look at all like it did yesterday. Now the tree is all withered away, dried up from its roots. The disciples are amazed at the quick transformation, and they point it out to Jesus, saying, "Look at what happened to the tree that you cursed yesterday." Jesus responds, "Verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if ye shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done." Matthew 21:21. Now, clearly this story is not about getting mad at trees because they don't have fruit when you're hungry and then praying for God to kill them. Instead, think of the fig tree in this story as representing things and or people in your life that are stumbling blocks. From time to time, you may encounter a situation that appears at the beginning to be something good, but as you become more familiar with it, you begin to see that it's not what you thought it was. Once you realize what you're dealing with, it becomes a source of anger, frustration, or disappointment. It can even be something that causes you to sin, making it more challenging to stay focused on serving God. What do you do when this happens? The easy answer may be to just walk away from whatever it is. However, depending on the situation, it may not be that simple. The answer, of course, is to put it in the hands of God. The situation may seem as immovable as a mountain, but as Jesus said to his disciples, if you have sufficient faith, you can pray for a mountain to be removed and it will be cast into the sea. It's all about faith and trusting God to work out the situation in whatever way he chooses to, not necessarily the way you tell him to. This reminds me of something that happened during my professional career. This particular incident involves a natural job, not a spiritual situation, but it's still a good example of how God can handle stumbling blocks that make it more difficult to stay on our chosen path. One Friday afternoon, a woman stopped by my office and was telling me about a coworker who she was teamed up with who was very difficult to work with, so much so that she had become very unhappy at work and had decided to look for a new job. She told me she was going to spend the weekend applying for jobs, and knowing that I was a minister, she wanted me to pray that she would be able to find something suitable. I prayed for her right there in the office and asked God to provide her a job where she could have peace while working in her chosen field. On Monday, the same woman excitedly came into my office and said, "You're not going to believe what's happened. My coworker came in this morning and announced that he's found a new job. He's thrilled to have a new job, and at the same time, my stumbling block for working here has been removed. What a great answer to our prayers." God can remove any stumbling block from our lives if we give him the opportunity to do so. This is especially important for our spiritual lives, since it's so important that we stay on the path that we have embarked upon as servants of God. The good news is that God wants you to be successful in reaching the end of the path. So if there are things in your life that are stumbling blocks, threatening to lead you into sin or otherwise take you off the path, put it in the hands of God. As the song says, there is no power that God cannot conquer, and there is no battle that he cannot win for you. Children of sorrow, if you'll only let him, then he will erase every vestige of sin and remove every stumbling block, dissolve every obstacle, destroy every fortress where evil could hide, and break down every standing wall that sin has constructed, untie every silken cord that Satan has tied. And he'll send you a sunny day and drive every cloud away and lift every shadow that follows along and put joy where the pain had been and wash off the stains of sin, forget every place you've been, forgive every wrong.